The Democratic and the Republican parties are not government entities. They are private corporations, just like Amazon, just like Exxon. But unlike those other corporations, these corporations control our elections. They decide who gets on the ballot. They decide who debates. They decide what ideas get oxygen and which ones get buried. So the real question is, why in the hell did we give our democracy away to two brands that don't even pretend to represent us anymore? Why the hell did we do that? The DNC and the RNC are private clubs, and you're not invited. I know I sound like George Carlin.
A little bit.
A little bit. The DNC and the RNC are both private political organizations. They write their own rules. They're not bound by the Constitution. They don't answer to voters. They answer to donors and lobbyists and legacy power structures. You want proof? Check this out. Check this shit out. So in 2017, the DNC was taken to court by Bernie Sanders supporters. The case exposed something very wild. The DNC argued in court that they had no obligation to hold fair primaries. Swear to God. Yeah, just let that sink in. They literally said we could pick our nominee in a smoke-filled back room if we wanted to. Quote unquote. And the court agreed because they're not part of the government. They don't have to. Trump didn't overtake the party. He bought it with loyalty and voter rage. And now, if you oppose Trump, you're purged. No debate, no democracy. See, they decide who you vote for. You don't decide who you vote for. Most Americans think that we choose the candidates. I know I did. I really did. Until I opened my eyes, until I woke up and looked around and realized something's wrong. It's not true. We don't choose our candidates. The DNC and the RNC use ballot access laws, debate commissions, and donor thresholds to filter out anybody who's not pre-approved by the machine. Independent candidates, good luck. Third party, shut out. New ideas, they're smothered before they even breathe. The Presidential Debates Commission, sounds official, right? Nope, it's a joint venture owned by the DNC and the RNC. Yeah, how's that shit? And that's why you haven't seen a third party on stage since 1992. This isn't a democracy, this is a duopoly. Yeah, let's just call it what it is. We are stuck in a political duopoly. Just like Coke and Pepsi. It looks like a choice, but it's really just sugar and corporate profit wrapped in a different package. The two parties, they collude. They don't compete. They agree on 90% of the rules, especially the ones that keep outsiders locked out. And every 4 years, they run the same game. Vote for lesser evil or the world ends. Spoiler alert, the world keeps ending anyway. This system, it doesn't reward leadership. It rewards obedience. Obedience to power lines. Obedience to donors. Obedience to the illusion that this is the best we can do. So what do we do? So here's the good news. Once you see the rigged system for what it is, you don't have to play along. You don't have to. You can support independent candidates. You can push for open primaries. You can demand ballot access reform. You can stop donating to these two parties and start investing in something better. People-powered politics. Yeah, I know, it's all uphill, but, that's what a revolution looks like. Not with pitchforks, with clarity, with courage, and refusal to settle for the same old script. So the next time somebody tells you, this is the most important election in our lifetime, yeah, just ask them, was that true last time too? And the time before that, maybe the most important thing isn't which pre-selected candidate you vote for. It's breaking the grip that these two private clubs have on our political power. Wow. Because democracy is not a brand, it's a birthright. And it's time we start acting like it. If this woke you up even a little, hit that like button, share this video, and drop a comment about what part of the system you think needs to change the most. And if you're still registered as a Republican or a Democrat, just ask yourself why. So yeah, this is something that's been bothering me for a long time. And even just in researching this for the video, I guess I learn a little bit more every time I go over everything. But I don't think it's right that these two private corporations are the ones who are the ones who decide who our candidates are, and that just doesn't make any sense. And for the longest time, quite honestly, I didn't even bother looking. I always thought that we got to choose because, I dabbled in politics, but I wasn't really as involved as I am these days, these last 10 years, something that I've just been noticing that it just didn't feel right. And I started to learn that it's not right. It's we don't have a choice. We don't get to choose. And that's why all these candidates that we don't want are being shoved down our throats. And, I felt like Joe Biden was shoved down my throat. I didn't like the way that they tried to shove Camilla down my throat. Quite honestly, I didn't want either one of them, but I don't vote blue no matter who. It just always seems to work out that way. I'm sorry, I can't vote against women and taking people's health care away and making children hungry at night. I don't agree with what the Republicans are doing. I agree with some things, but I can't agree with this horrible stuff that they're doing. It's just, it's heartless. So I don't know. I'm sure as I do more research, I'll find out what kind of things that we can do besides, I guess this links in with the whole AOC and Bernie thing. If they are supporting other candidates so that they can be strong enough to go up against the DNC and the RNC, this is why I guess we don't see a third party, because it's already been all bought out. But I strongly recommend that everybody, if you're new to this idea, let's just start studying and find out what the heck is really going on and when did this happen and how did it happen. But any kind of information that I see worthy of a video, I'll definitely make one and throw it up and help everybody out. But the more we know, the more powerful we become. And just keep studying and keep learning. And this RNC, DNC thing, and the fact that it's coming from a private corporations are the ones who are really controlling our elections. I mean, I've always heard of the RNC and the DNC, but, in my years prior to paying attention to politics, I had no idea that they were private corporations. I always thought that they were part of the government. And they're not. So, that really does explain a whole bunch, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought I would just ignore the whole Trump-Elon breakup that's going on online. I guess I don't care enough about either one of them to have an opinion. They're both mentally disturbed. We all knew it was going to happen. Yeah, it was fun watching all the memes come out. But it's about it. Unless they both, I hope they just both fall off a cliff together or out a window or whatever. Thanks for sticking around for the video, and thank you for your likes and shares and your comments. And I will see you in the next video or in the comments section. Thanks. Bye.